I'm a LEGO animator, and in this video I'm animating more oddly satisfying LEGO animations. I love creating them, and this time I'm painting with LEGO bricks, flattening minifigures, and doing a bunch of satisfying stuff through the art of stop motion. Anyway, let's begin animating. I've done many cutting animations in the past, but doing it by hand has become a tiring thing, so I think it's time to automate it. I want to build a machine that can cut LEGO bricks for me. I found this blade that will be perfect for the build. Using it, I made this contraption that lets me animate the blade drop down and cut bricks. I'll then add a hole where the bricks can come out of, and I use these printed tiles and stickers to add some details. And now we have the cutting machine all ready. I got some 2x2 bricks which will be appearing from the hole before they get cut by the blade. Time to animate it. I moved the blade up and down, fed the bricks to the hole in the machine, and of course, animated the bricks being cut. And this animation turned out incredibly satisfying. I could watch this forever, but we don't have time for that now, because next I want to give this blank LEGO minifigure a little color, and I want to do it by dipping it into paint. Not real paint, of course. Wouldn't want to ruin the figure. So instead, I'll use these LEGO tile pieces to make little LEGO paint puddles, which the figure will be animated being dipped into to apply color. By removing the bottom pieces from the figure, I can create the illusion of the figure being submerged in the paint. You can use the same trick to make LEGO figures swim. I then animated the animation, but I felt it was missing something, so I decided to redo it, but this time I added liquid animation, like little paint drops dripping off the figure. The result is way more satisfying and adds an extra layer of detail to the animation. I like when things are smooth, but LEGO bricks have these studs on top of them which can make builds look a bit rough. Some people don't really care, while others do their best to hide the studs in their LEGO builds. So I want to turn these rough studded bricks into something a bit smoother. If I brush over like this with my finger and replace the studs behind with these smooth tiles while taking pictures, we get a satisfying animation of smoothening the LEGO as if my finger flattened the studs. And you know what does that in real life? A Steamroller, flattening any obstacle in its path. So for this next animation, I went to the LEGO store and bought this LEGO Steamroller set. And you can probably guess where this is going. That's right, I want to animate it rolling over stuff. Well, not like that. Gotta build the set first. In a satisfying way, of course. With the Steamroller fully built, it's time to begin animating it rolling over stuff. And we're starting off with a simple 2x2 LEGO brick. Now, LEGO pieces do not flatten by themselves, so I can't just drive the machine into the brick. I have to gradually animate the brick being flattened. I can do this by replacing it with smaller and smaller slope pieces until it can be fully covered by the Steamroller. And to finish off the animation, I use some of my favorite LEGO pieces, tiles, and have them appear on the other side of the roller to represent the flattened brick. Let's watch the animation. Next up, I'm gonna animate the Steamroller rolling over a LEGO minifigure. It's almost the same process as animating the brick being rolled over. The different colors of the minifigure do make it a bit more challenging though, as I have to use more colors and this complicates the animation. But that doesn't stop me. Minifigure meets Steamroller. I made the animation, but I wasn't sure I liked the blocky look of the flattened figure, so I did it again, but made the pattern of the flattened part more random and rounder, and I think I like it or the other one. Obviously we can't end there, so I got not just one, not two, but 5 minifigures, ready to get decimated by the machine. This was obviously a lot harder to do, since there are more minifigures to keep track of, but I animated the Steamroller flattening all of them for maximum satisfaction. And if this isn't satisfying, then maybe the next one is. Something I've always wanted to see is a Steamroller rolling over a car. So I got this LEGO car, and I thought it would be really easy to animate it get rolled over. But I underestimated the task and ended up spending several hours on this. At least the animation ended up looking really cool. Alright, let's keep rolling forward. Animating that car get flattened inspired me to create more satisfying animations with it. You have probably seen videos of those car crash tests before. There's something oddly satisfying about a car crumbling in slow motion as it crashes into a wall. So naturally I want to recreate that with LEGO. To start, we need a wall to crash the car into. So I got a bunch of bricks and built a LEGO crash wall. However, nothing happens if I just ram the car into it. The car is built too well, thus I have to animate the crumbling of the car frame by frame. And rather than going for the slow-mo look, I'll animate it at normal speeds, because doing it in slow-mo would have taken me 100 years with the amount of pieces I had to animate. And since the LEGO car wouldn't crumble like an actual one, I animated it exploding into a pile of bricks upon impact, resulting in a surprisingly satisfying outcome. For some reason, people really just like it when stuff gets crushed or broken, like these ball smashing videos, which I animated out of LEGO before. Now, the real videos of people smashing stuff might look satisfying, but they are very wasteful. I want to animate more stuff getting crushed and smashed in LEGO, since there's no waste when doing it that way. And the first thing I want to animate is more LEGO balls getting smashed. So let's get to it. So I gathered all of them I could find and made a pyramid of LEGO glass balls. Now I want to animate it fall apart like a house of cards. To animate the ball shattering, I use these transparent LEGO pieces. And I especially like this one, a crystal LEGO piece which looks just like a bunch of glass shards flying around. I then animated the pyramid fall apart, and here's the animation. These two are having an argument. Now, what do you do to win your argument? That's right, hit them with a bottle. So I animated the minifigure smash a bottle on the other figure's head.
There can only be one of us.
I also animated the minifigure kicking a bottle. I then brought back the stairs from the previous bottle smashing animations, and I animated the bottle smash down the stairs. Just kidding, this time it got all the way down safely. And now the ultimate satisfying bottle animation, Lego bottle domino effect. I got every Lego ball I had and put them in a row, and then animated them falling over one by one. And with the sound effects added, it becomes really satisfying. Now that's enough bottle animations, so next I need some more wrecking, and this time I want to animate a wall breaking. No, not with a hammer, but with a car. It's time for it to get revenge for the earlier incident, and I think the destruction will look very satisfying. Now I'm switching out the thick wall from earlier with a thinner one for easier demolition. But even doing that, this took a really long time to animate, since I had so many bricks to move between each frame. Just look how many pieces there were. And I had to keep track of every brick to make sure I didn't forget to move one or accidentally made one disappear. And hours of hard work later, the animation was complete. One thing I love to do is to sit and watch fires. Whether it's at the cozy fireplace at home or while out on a fishing trip in the evening, it's always soothing to watch fires burn. So I wanna animate some fires with Lego and recreate some of these moments which I love. To begin, I made a small pile of Lego wood using these brown cylindrical bricks and these round printed 1x1 tiles for the log details. With Lego masonry bricks, I then built a small fireplace to contain the fire. Now I have crafted the perfect setting for the animation. I then got these Lego fire pieces to animate the fire, which can be done by moving them between each frame to simulate a real fire, but that turned out to be more difficult than expected since I couldn't fit my fingers between the walls. So I used tweezers to move them around, and it felt like I was playing Operation while doing that. Now that's how I managed to animate the fire, but wait a minute, where's the light generated by the fire? I need to get some lights in there. So I got this flashlight, but that's the wrong color. Luckily this orange Lego piece I found fits in a satisfyingly perfect way on the top of the flashlight, which makes the color of the light turn orange. So now we can light up the scene and finish the animation. I then went to record some sound effects by my fireplace at home, but first it needed a cleaning, which I've included in the video since it was really satisfying. With it cleaned, I then quickly made a fire and recorded it. And with the sounds added, the animation is done. Now I can just loop this for 10 hours and replace my real fireplace with it, or even bring it with me wherever I go. Alright, now I'm gonna animate a Lego minifigure burning, because why not? But first, I'm gonna light one on fire for real, and this to be able to observe how Lego burns. So I got a very old and cheap minifigure to burn, and watching it burn I can see the plastic melt and turn black. Alright, now time to animate it. I used some sticky tack to stick the fire pieces onto the figure, and between frames I moved them around a little to create the fire effect. To replicate real life, I then swapped the minifigure with a fully black one, and in a very cartoony way, the figure falls apart into a pile of ashes. Watching the animation, the last part looks really cool. Lego has made a lot of these art sets lately, everything from sets based on famous artists like Vincent van Gogh to whatever this thing is, and a lot more. They even made the Spider-Man art set, and painting can be a very satisfying thing to do, so I'm gonna combine painting and Lego. I found this massive paintbrush, and now I'm gonna fill this entire base plate with Lego paint. I'm using these white tiles for the paint, and by adding a few tiles behind the brush every frame, I can animate the entire base plate filling up. I think the result looks pretty awesome. Anyway, here's another blank canvas, and I got a smaller brush. Time to make a $1 million art piece. And this time I'll add a little more color. This was really fun to animate. And voila, modern art. I'll hang it up here where I can admire it forever. Next, I want to make an animation of a pattern roller. I have seen satisfying videos of people rolling these on surfaces to make cool patterns. So I built one out of Lego by using 2 of these gear pieces and a few other Technic bricks. Not aesthetically impressive, but it functions well. To make the pattern appear behind the roller in the animation, I'll replace these tile pieces with these grill pieces as they match the look of the gears. And with the animation done, we'll finally add some sound effects, which makes it so much more satisfying. In my impossible Lego animations video, I twisted a minifigure, and it was really satisfying, so it should probably have been in this video instead. Therefore, I'm twisting more stuff next. For the twisting effect, I'm using these pieces called jumper plates. They only have 1 stud on top in comparison to a normal plate like this, which has 4. And if you stack these jumper plates on top of each other, you can rotate the pieces like this. With enough of them stacked and rotated, you get this mesmerizing twisting effect, and this is what I use to animate the twisting animations. The result is a really cool and satisfying Lego animation. If I reverse the clip and loop it, it kinda looks like the bricks are stretching. I also made an infinite twisting animation by setting up the twisted brick tower like this and then animated it spinning. If you like these animations, click here for more satisfying LEGO animations. I got a whole bunch more of these that I know you'll love. Anyway, thank you so much for watching.